This is a Kirkendall Barrett presentation, darling.
Feed me, meow, meow, meow.
Because of this podcast, I'm a gay icon.
I'm so hot. I'm so good looking. My salad dressing is amazing.
Like the internet at large, there are things you can do on the internet besides porn, but most of it's porn.
A lifetime of Hallmark.
Well, hello, everybody.
I wasn't even in that thing, was I? I didn't hear myself.
Yes, you were.
Where was I?
You were in the middle. Here, wait. I'm going to start it over again. Hold on. Here we go again.
We didn't get any warning for this.
This is a
We'll pick it apart.
Kirkendall Barrett presentation, darling.
Feed me, meow,
That's
meow,
less.
meow.
Because of this podcast, I'm a gay icon.
I'm so hot. I'm so
Once
good
again.
looking. My salad dressing is amazing.
Like the internet at large, there are things you can do on the internet besides porn, but most of it's porn.
A lifetime of Hallmark.
Like a little overpowered. That's okay, though. It's fine.
Well, hello, everybody.
I don't think
It's your favorite day of the week, and we have a new opening, which I love.
yeah.
Oh, good. I'm glad you like it.
And it's time for a Lifetime of Hallmark, where we talk about your favorite movies on both Lifetime and the Hallmark Channel, and try to make sense of them. I'm Les Kirkendall Barrett. Hello, Jason Bowers.
Hello, Les Kirkendall Barrett. Not going off the rails already, are we?
I know, right? And hello, Kurt Fitzpatrick.
Hello, Les Kirkendall Barrett, and hello, Jason Bowers. Because of this podcast, I'm a gay icon.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Right.
That's true.
I'm like legit curious how you missed yourself declaring yourself a gay icon the first
Because
time I
all
played
could hear-
that.
all I could hear, and all anyone's going to hear, is this, I'm this, I'm bookend by that. I didn't even pay attention to myself. I couldn't even hear myself.
Well, a gay icon will always be able to hear themselves, Kurt, so get used to it.
All right.
Right.
Okay. I guess you're right.
Gay icon, Kurt Fitzpatrick.
We need to get merch made. I really mean it.
No, seriously.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
I guess there are other straight gay icons.
Of course.
Yeah.
Tons of them.
There's a
Some other
bunch.
ones. Barbara Streisand, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Judy Garland, Liza
You're
Minnelli.
in,
Sure.
you're
Okay.
in good company. Anyway, we're here
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
and
We
we're
got opinions.
well, you know what though? This makes up for the fact that this movie was a snooze fest.
It was pretty boring. I actually kind of suspected it would be boring going into this, so I wasn't annoyed by it being boring.
Right. No, I agree. I agree. The minute that she showed up at her job and she was not very busy, I knew.
Also, they didn't even really establish what city she worked in.
No.
But they clearly shot it in one of the more French parts of Canada because there is a post office that's something like Moulin Rouge or something on it.
Okay.
Ooh, I'd go to that post office.
Yeah.
I wrote that this movie was an imperial power of nebulous morality.
Wow.
How's that for a strong
Wait, what
stance?
did you say?
An imperial power of nebulous morality.
Like, you know the movie's gonna be boring
I
when,
think
like,
this
you know,
is-
we got to a part where I was like, oh my God, I love that character's coat. You know that it's boring when I'm like looking at the coat, and the fact that the coat has like fur on the sleeves, I'm like into.
That character of which you speak, I am going to say right here, right now, that she is the single most heinous villain in a movie that we have ever watched. I'm talking Lifetime and Hallmark, and Lifetime has a lot of killers on it.
Well-
Yeah, and I'll point it out when
Even
we
worse
get
than a killer.
worse than a killer, and I'll get to it when we
You're
get
off
to.
base.
There's a certain thing that happens in this movie that is a truly heinous thing to do.
Well, I need to point
Worse-
it out to me because I think
Worse,
we're based on
worse
this.
than a black hoodie wearing, camera hiding,
Yes.
knife throwing.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
character.
Yes.
No.
Worse than a carrot that rigs a fireball to come flying out of an oven or a ceiling fan to come barreling down from the ceiling. Yes, worse than those things.
Damn.
And it happened in a Hallmark movie.
Well,
Damn.
you're getting carried away. I think we're going to have different opinions on this, and mine will be correct because it's just I have a lot. I wasn't bored at all. I'm not talking
about. I'm not even talking about this character. Things they. Well, you'll know what it is. I don't think why I find her heinous is the reason you're thinking it is.
Okay, because they were mean to this woman. I don't understand. I didn't see her being heinous.
There is a scene where she is. It is on full display her heinousness in one moment.
Nobody liked her, and yeah, we'll see.
But then she didn't invite herself.
Yeah,
she didn't invite herself.
Yes, she did.
Yes, she did.
I thought she was the +1.
She saw the invitation and got excited about it, so she got like a pity invite.
Yeah.
So she didn't invite herself. She may have.
Yeah. Well, we'll get to her. We'll get to her in a little bit.
Enough to say coercion. All right. Okay. Fine.
Well, okay. I guess before we get to that, someone who is not heinous, who we love on this podcast, Kurt. Do you have any Black China news?
Doing a piece of China.
China.
I'm talking China.
The Black China Report. Here's Kurt Fitzpatrick.
Okay, the news source from this is the Cherokee Tribune and Ledger News. Of course, the Cherokee are one of the indigenous peoples of the southeastern woodlands of the United States, and now they're into Black China because they're writing about them. Black China is open to having more kids with new boyfriend Derek Milano, the 35-year-old model and born-again Christian who has gone back to using her birth name of Angela White and recently reversed a string of her plastic surgeries, made the admission despite going through messy custody battles with her exes, Tyga, 34, and Rob Kardashian, 36. She told Entertainment Tonight about how she would be willing to get back on a surgical table to bring more children into the world. I feel like the only time I'll have to get surgery again is if I have our babies. I actually have 2 C-sections, so that's the only surgery. Rapper Derek, 30, agreed during the chat, saying he absolutely wants to have kids with well, they call her Black here for some reason. Wants to have kids with Black, who has son King Cairo, 11, with Tyga, and daughter Dream, 7, with Rob. Even though Black wants more kids, Black admitted her children are not fans of the idea. She said, I think I said something to Dream one time, like, Dream, would you want a little brother or sister? And Dream was like, no. But adding her daughter will occasionally change her mind. She said she'll be like, well, I would maybe want a little brother. That way he'll be really nice to me. Black has also told her co-parenting relationship. Black has also told how her co-parenting relationship with Tyga is going after their custody battle, saying, we have structure. I think structure is key. I fought my way through it. It's done. I'm so excited. You have no idea. It's going splendid. I'm in a better place. My kids having a structure for me and stability for me is everything for me. Now everything else is going to trickle down because our foundation is strong. Black last month reached a custody agreement with Tyga, and court documents obtained by TMZ showed Tyga, real name Michael Ray Stevenson, showed he had agreed to equally split custody of their son. The former couple also said they would have the right to make decisions regarding the child's general welfare, education, and health, while Tyga will not have to pay any child support. The agreement came after Black filed a motion in July 2023 in an attempt to elicit child support from the rapper. Black went through a similar bitter fight over the custody of her daughter with Rob, who she got engaged to in April 2016, the same year they had dreamed. The relationship ended the following year. Even though they had a custody agreement in place by September 2017, they ended up in a legal fight in 2020 after they failed to follow it. It's understood they now have a new agreement that gives them custody of the child on an alternating weekly schedule.
Oh,
that's it.
The one thing I perked up when I heard it, because I don't know that maybe we've talked about it on the show. I don't think I realized that she is a born again Christian. I knew that she was on this more like, trying to be sort of in the quote unquote straight and narrow path, but I didn't know that it was tied to religion, or if I did, I forgot it.
I think that she sobered up first and then found religion.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember something about her. being involved with religion.
Okay,
I was
maybe
surprised.
we did talk about it then, because it seemed like that seemed like the next logical step in this path, but I just don't remember having heard it.
Yeah, I think she got sober first, though.
Okay.
Well, what's interesting, it is other than Rob Kardashian, I don't think that she's dated many men with two names.
Oh,
It's like the first and last name.
Yeah.
Because didn't she date someone named like Little Twin or something?
That's two names. In fact, the second name means two names.
Well, does Lil count as a name though?
The same way Black does.
Yes.
Oh, I guess.
Yeah. She should have dated that guy from Fiddler on the Roof. He only had one name.
Who, Topal?
Yeah, Topal. Yeah. There aren't a lot of people with just one name. The dating pool. The dating pool's lean.
Oh, AI, please write a story.
Topal.
Black China and Topal.
Yeah. Sting. She go with Sting.
Sting.
Power-
That would
power
be a
couple.
good couple, actually.
Yeah.
Sting, yeah. He likes that tantric sex. He'll keep her pleased.
Sting and Black China.
Yeah.
I don't think Trudy would be too happy about it.
I don't know. Maybe they have like an open, people that are into the tantric stuff. They're probably like, oh, yeah, come on in, Black China.
Could she
I
be
could
with
see Trudy going for it.
Yeah.
Could she be with the Edge, or is the his first name? The Edge.
It's just
That's
Edge.
Are you sure?
I don't know what I saw this week. I literally saw something where that specific subject came up, and it's just Edge. It's not the Edge.
All right.
Okay.
Wow. That's kind of scary.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there you go, Black China. The Edge is also might be on the market.
Yeah.
I would say he's probably not, but
Well,
just gotta consider.
shall we get into the snooze fest?
Yes.
I'm not snoozing at all. I was lit up when I was watching this. I have all kinds of opinions.
I was stupid in a
Okay.
different way.
So get ready to wake up.
Well,
I'm shot out of a cannon.
it's winter, and we see this woman walking down the street. She walks into an office, and I got ahead of myself because I wrote that she was very busy, but she wasn't that busy.
No. Yeah. In fact, whoever worked in set design for The Office was not that busy either, because that sign looked like they made it in Word, Microsoft Word, and printed it out and just like tacked it to a wall for whatever the name of that company was, Spirit.
The Spirit, yeah.
Then her coworker, her coworker Ed, who was a very snappy dresser, Ed brings her some good-looking cinnamon rolls.
Yeah, intense looking.
And you could tell that she was not in LA because she grabbed one of those cinnamon rolls and ate it on the spot. And I was like, this woman is not in Los Angeles.
No, and this wasn't a minor dessert either. This thing was like cream filled.
Yeah, it's like it was like Cinnabon level of pure
God.
bliss excess.
Yeah, no, they looked very good.
Yeah, if she had diabetes, Ed would have had her like resuscitate her.
Right.
I don't think Ed wants to
Insulin.
kiss her. You know, what I'm saying?
Ed, who
No,
I was like, I wonder if
give her
this
some insulin.
character's gay. And then he was.
I picked up on that really quickly.
Was it
Turns out.
the snappy dressing with a bow tie?
No, it was later on when she was talking to him, like he was her buddy. You know, I was like,
Oh yeah, because she was like dishing like
Yeah.
relationshipy stuff to him. Yeah.
yeah.
He was like her work husband.
Yeah.
So then the boss walks in and she's like, I want to pitch you an idea. And she pitches her idea and the boss likes her idea. But then the boss is like, well, okay, so what you need to do now is forward your idea to Ed, and Ed will give it to the writers to do. And then the boss throws her shade and says, let the writers do the writing.
Yeah.
Shady boss.
Although I wonder, do we know when this movie was filmed? I wonder if that was like a nod to the writers' strike.
No, this came out in like 2019.
Oh, it did. Oh, okay.
This is an older movie.
So it's foreshadowing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, you're giving this movie some credit now.
Well, I mean,
You think
we
it
were
was-
entering negotiations, or they probably knew negotiations are coming up. And if you're a writer of these movies, you're probably like, stop trying to overnote me.
Right.
You think the boss's name was Carrie? Do you think that was a reference to Stephen King's Carrie?
Maybe.
She was getting her
No, because
revenge on
Carrie was
people.
entertaining and moved shit. This Carrie did nothing.
All right, then I guess that's out.
I love whenever Les finds a movie boring because he's so fucking angry about it.
So now we're at a birthday party. And this part would piss me off.
It was a nice house.
It was a very nice house. But this is the part that pisses me off. Her sister and her brother-in-law are like, we're getting married, and we're getting married in 4 weeks, and it's going to be a destination wedding, and we expect you to show up. And it's not a cheap destination wedding because it's going to be at the Ice Hotel, which we've seen before.
We have?
I am familiar with this, but I had
we've done
a movie.
I think it was a Lifetime movie though, but we've done a movie about the Ice Hotel before.
Maybe. I know I'm familiar with it. I've heard about this thing years ago.
Yeah.
Because it's real.
Yeah.
There's a real thing.
Yeah.
I'm pissed too now. I didn't really think this through. But yeah, if somebody told me a destination wedding, I got to pay for all this, plus go into the freezing cold.
And not just destination wedding that you got to pay for in this remote location, and it's in a month. They knew they were getting married for a long time. It's not like they just got engaged. Like the family was all like, hey, have you picked a wedding date yet? You've been engaged forever. Like, when's it happening? And they're like, actually, it's like,
that's right.
You couldn't have planned ahead a little further or told them, given them more notice. You're an asshole.
That's right. How disrespectful.
And you expect me to come. How do you know I'm going to be able to get the time off work?
Yeah.
You know, and in Jenny's case, my job is kind of precarious at the moment anyway. My boss already didn't like.
Yeah.
So now I'm just going to take like a surprise vacation.
Mm-hmm.
Can't be treated like that. I was curious what you guys would think about if you had to go to some freezing cold place like this. I don't know. I don't think you would want to be in some freezing cold.
Oh no, I totally would.
You would.
Do you know who I'm married to? He would be on that in a second.
Well, what if it was more your choice?
I would do it. I would do it to say that I stayed in the hotel.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of why. Okay, so you guys are like on the same page as me. I don't want to be in the cold.
No, I wouldn't choose a cold climate for a vacation normally. I hate the concept of destination wedding in general. I think it's really fucking disrespectful to your wedding guests. Because it puts a burden on literally everyone for a very large sum of money.
Yeah, just elope.
Yeah. And then you don't have any of your stuff. Like, I wouldn't want to get married so far away from, like, my life.
Like, it's one thing to have a destination wedding and say, hey, we're going to have a destination wedding. Want to come? If you want to come, it's open and we're going to be doing this. But we don't expect you to come. But if you want to come and join us, we would love to have you.
Yeah.
That's fine.
But
they were totally like, we're going and you're coming too.
Yeah. But in this case, okay, that castle, even though I would not want to be cold for that long, the idea of experiencing that would be cool.
Yeah.
Well, it was beautiful.
Yeah.
To see it from the inside and But I don't know how these people are sleeping in their rooms. The bed is made of ice. Mm-hmm. They're in their bedrooms wearing heavy coats. I don't know how that works.
Yeah.
People are going to die in the middle of hypothermia, Yeah.
And I probably wouldn't stay in it the whole time. I may go and spend the night there.
Yeah.
And then get a room. Because obviously there was a place down the street that was like a bed and breakfast type place. Because that's where they would have breakfast and lunch every day.
Yeah.
Let me look up how much it is to stay there. I'll bet it's a fortune.
Well, remember we did that movie where there was like an underwater hotel room?
Yeah.
And we looked that up, and that was something like $14,000 a night or something insane.
Yeah. Well, here's Winter Castle on Expedia. Mm-hmm. Hotel reservations. Oh, no, it's not. This might take a little while. Oh, what was it called? It's called the Winter Castle?
Well, that's the movie. I don't know if that's actually the name of the venue.
Because there's an ice hotel as well.
Okay, that's probably it.
But
Google.
there's also Winter Castle.
Google. Google.
See, folks, this is the kind of research I should have done ahead of time, but I didn't think about this. Sorry. But don't worry. Let's move on, and I'll try to.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So then Jenny's sister Meg is like, Jenny, by the way, yes, I was a bitch by springing this on you. So I'm going to make it up to you because I want to set you up with a dude. And he's the best man. And I think that you're a good fit for him. And everybody knows about it. Like their parents know about it. Like everybody knows. And so then they go. So Meg and Jenny go first to the hotel. And then we find out that the guy who Meg was going to set Jenny up with bought a +1.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And the +1, at first I thought, okay, so there's hope for the movie because they're the villainess.
Mm-hmm.
But this villainess was a piss poor villainess.
Again, I disagree.
Okay.
I'll get to it when we get there.
All right.
Most heinous villain behavior we've ever seen in a movie.
Okay, I must have missed it. Then this
Well,
one.
anyway, Meg agrees with you, Jason, because Meg is pissed that he brought a +1.
I can't.
And
This tops Kathy Bates clobbering James Caan's ankles in Misery. What happens in this movie?
Well, you better tell us what it is.
It's so funny. I just did a rewatch of Misery on my flight back from London a month ago.
Mm-hmm.
And it still holds up.
Still not as heinous as what happens in this movie.
Damn.
I think he brought a +1. That was his date, whether how serious this relationship was. He was with a woman,
Mm-hmm.
and everybody acts like he's not. It just acting, and it's not right.
Again, that's not what the villain behavior is based around. It has nothing to do with the fact that she came to this wedding. Nothing to do
So
with it.
first of all,
this is my problem with this thing. This Jenny should not be on his jock. That's what the kids say these days, right?
Jenny can go after whoever
Leave
the
him alone.
fuck she wants. He's his own person and he can decide what he
girlfriend.
wants in his life. Also,
Got a girlfriend.
he
Weird.
didn't tell his best friend that he was dating this woman.
and okay, every person, when you are having a wedding, every person is $1 amount.
Yeah.
So
So pissed about that.
everything is precise. Everything is $1 amount. You have so many plates. So the fact that he brought a +1 without telling the hosts is shitty because now that's extra money that the hosts have to throw in that they weren't planning on throwing in.
So they didn't know he was bringing a +1 when he put in the reservations. They had no idea.
Meg didn't know.
No.
Meg was blindsided by it.
This is just.
He's bringing his daughter.
Tony's an
what's
idiot,
going
though.
on. I don't know what's going on.
Meg's
He didn't
fiance,
know
soon-to-be
the
husband
room?
Tony, was an idiot.
I agree with that.
And he was bringing his daughter. So
She's the
unless he
+1.
said, I'm bringing an extra +1. They just assumed that it was his
+2.
daughter.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what to think. That is.
And actually, now that we break this down, Craig is also a villain in this movie. Let's be honest.
Oh, Craig is a dick.
Yeah.
Oh, Craig is a dick.
He is.
He's a wishy-washy pussy.
Okay.
Craig is such a
Yes,
dick because
that's right. That's right. You bring the woman, you're with the woman. You don't start fucking around with somebody else. Fuck's sake. Give me a break. Have some respect.
Well, no, Craig was keeping her on the line just in case.
Yeah.
Gotta try to do the right thing. Try to do the right thing. Well, I like this woman. I think I like
Well,
this other woman more.
she was
Keep it
well,
that.
look, she's at fault because she's like trying to get in there and just like waiting until he gets over his dead wife, hoping that he's going to fall in love with her.
Ugh.
See, what she needs to do, she needs to watch soap operas like Days of Our Lives or General Hospital, because what you do is like you seduce the man and you sleep with him. So then he's like, he's lady-matized.
Yeah.
Well, I thought that's what Do you think they had an intimate relationship at some point?
No. Well, or maybe once. Maybe like he slept with her once and then she just held on to that. She like held on to hope for more.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like he
All
did
right,
it and
all
like
right.
regretted it immediately. Regretted it during. He's like, oh, I shouldn't be doing this. I'm still thinking about my dead wife.
Oh my God.
Like
That
he's
sounds
probably
fun.
drunk.
Yeah.
Oh, I regret this. Oh.
Yeah.
And then he did it once.
Yeah.
And then she like held on. She held out hope.
Never by the grace of God go I.
Which is mean. Which is mean on his
It
part.
is mean. It's terrible. I don't mean that. There by the grace of God. Yes. No, it is. These people are out of control. I didn't even know.
Then
that
they
of
try to
the-
make her look bitchy because she's like, oh, an ice hotel. And then she's asking for like extra blankets and stuff.
Well, it's freezing cold.
Yeah.
She's on a block of ice. All right. Let's continue with the story.
So then the next day, Craig and Sarah, his little daughter, are having breakfast. Jenny goes into the breakfast place. They invite her to join them. They're talking. And then the daughter says that she forgot her books back at home. And so then Jenny was like, well, why don't you make something up? And then Jenny starts making up this story that was awful
Yeah.
about a polar bear.
Yeah. About a really drowsy polar bear.
Yeah.
I don't know if he was
Well-
drowsy, but he's in this story from Jenny, so he's probably getting sleepy.
Oh, yeah. Totally sleepy.
We'll
Like
start
about
writing
this
it.
goring polar bear. And it's
Wasn't
like,
it kind of gruesome? He was like he was on like a piece of ice that floated out in the sea and stranded and
like
It's a metaphor for the fucking audience of this movie.
yeah.
it reminded me of Naiad. It's like she's in the middle of the sea and there's sharks coming around and she's freezing cold. And that was the story that she was telling.
Naiad. That's funny. Naiad.
Yeah, she ripped off that story. She made Naiad a polar bear.
So then they're in mid-story, and then the girlfriend Lana shows up. And so they always make it look like Lana's a buzzkill.
Well.
So then Jenny talking to Meg, and Meg realizes that she lost her veil.
Yeah.
And then we see Jenny, and she's on a cross-country skiing expedition. And so she's with a group of cross-country skiers, which have you guys ever done cross-country skiing? It is amazing exercise.
No.
But I'd like to.
It's
It
very
looks like
good.
something I would. Looks like something I would enjoy.
Les, what did you do to your mic? Because now we can't hear you. Oh, there we go.
Okay.
That's better. Yep.
So it's cross-country skiing, the great exercise.
I'd like to do that.
So she's cross-country skiing, and she's at the end of the line. And what does she do? She starts taking selfies. And then she's taking selfies, and then she looks up and everybody's gone. Because they're like, we're not waiting for you.
No, apparently not.
And then she hears a bear.
Well, she hears breathing. Like
Yeah, she hears like a noise.
like how people. It was like prank phone callers like in the 80s. It'd be like that's kind of like what she's heard in the woods.
Yeah.
That's what it sounded like to me.
So then Craig and Sarah show up, and she's like, oh my gosh, I was scared. I heard this noise, and I thought it was a bear. And then so Sarah's like little. What is she? Probably like 8 or 9.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
So Jenny starts talking about it. I thought it was a bear, and Craig is looking at her like, shut up. Shut up, you idiot. Shut up. You're going to scare the kid. And Craig is looking at her like, read the room, you dummy.
Well, they're outside. But then again, it
So
does
that
get
little
confusing.
girl's scared.
Because she says there's foxes, there's bears, there's werewolves, there's all kinds of things in the
Yeah,
woods.
because
Rattlesnakes.
right.
Lone gunmen.
Fish.
Landmines.
Landline, right? Girlfriends. So
Too many girls.
then Jenny is so annoying. She's like, well, why don't we do it like the Wizard of Oz? Remember what they did in the Wizard of Oz? They said
Lions
it's
attacking the
fun.
bears?
like lions and tigers, and that's when they did the foxes and hookers and bears. Oh my!
That's totally the song they sang. Yeah.
Foxes and hookers and bears.
Wasn't it come around the mountain? Isn't that what they sang?
It
was something that was in the public domain.
Yeah.
There's the 6 white horses, and they come. There you go.
So then they make it back. So they make it back to the hotel, and then we see Meg, and Meg is talking to her fiance, and Meg is like, "Okay, listen, you need to find out what is going on between Craig and Lana, because I am determined to have my sister hook up with this guy." Like this entire family was like on a mission to hook. I guess Jenny's annoying because they're like, we have got to hook her up.
He's with a woman. All right.
But this whole family was on a mission. All of them were on a mission.
But then we find out Lana booked herself a massage.
Uh-huh.
You got to look out for this. Those massages. I don't know if I would trust the situation if I was Craig.
Well, he didn't want her.
All right. You get some burly guy in there rubbing her down. All right.
Look, Lana needs to get rubbed down. She's hoping Craig will do it, and he won't do it.
That's true. She's not getting any action. All right. I mean, listen, it's a free-for-all.
The only thing tactile she's got going on in her life is that fuzzy jacket.
Right.
You're on fire.
Oh, so we find out that Lana was good friends with Craig's dead wife.
I see dead people.
And so when the wife died, Lana stayed around to help out.
Yes.
How is she so mean?
Yeah, and you're blaming Craig for like looking around. She's like her dead friend.
No,
she's craving her dead friend's husband.
Oh, we don't know that.
Yeah, she said it
after she died.
But still, it sounds like the body wasn't even cold and she was in there.
Yeah. You really think that before the wife died, she looked at Craig and like didn't find him attractive? Wasn't into that? She's been thinking about this for a while.
On it.
We don't know that.
It wasn't like
if this were the Lifetime version of this movie, she would have been the wife's killer.
Oh, if this was a Lifetime movie, she would have salt burned the wife.
Listen,
you saw what happened in Saltburn.
No, I didn't see Saltburn, but
well, there's something that happened when you watch Saltburn. You'll know exactly what I'm talking about.
Horrible. I don't know. There are situations where this has happened, where somebody dies and the brother or the person who died marries the wife or something. It's always a little bit, people have different opinions on that.
Wait until you see Saltburn, Kurt, and you'll know exactly when you get to the part that I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't get a SAG screener for that. It's not nominated for anything.
It's on Amazon Prime now.
It's on Amazon Prime, and Saltburn is I saw it for free. Yeah, it's free on Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
And it's a good watch.
It's a really good watch.
I've heard.
Oh my God. Someone the other night, we were at a party and my husband, John, got pissed because someone told him that he looked like Barry Keoghan.
Oh,
I can see that. I can see that, but I could also see him getting pissed about that.
Oh, don't tell that. Don't say that to him.
You said he got pissed.
Yeah. Don't say that he looks like Barry Keoghan.
No.
Well, no, I think that person probably meant as a compliment because a lot of people find him very attractive.
Oh, they did.
Yeah.
Oh, they did. But he didn't find Barry Keoghan attractive.
I haven't seen that, but
he's very hit or miss for me. Barry is.
Yeah.
You know what it is? Because in Saltburn, they had him at good angles. And so at some angles, he is cute. And at other angles, like when you see him like on the red carpet, or if you see like candid shots of him, he's not that attractive and he has very beady eyes.
You get him in the
Also-
right light.
Also, like most of the movie, he's a portrayed as a character that's not that cool, doesn't have a lot going for him. Whereas at the end of the movie, when there's a time jump and you see present day version of him, and he looked good.
Oh no, he's the patron saint of snooping.
Yeah.
Okay.
He is on Saltburn. He is my snooping role model. He's hashtag snooping goal.
Okay. Well, I went to see in the theater the Zone of Interest. That is massively depressing.
I don't even know what that is about
Well,
or what that is.
this is what it's about. It's a movie. It's a foreign film. It is about a family who have this idyllic home and a garden, and they live right next to Auschwitz, right next to the concentration camp.
Okay.
So it's a happy. It's a feel good picture.
They're hanging out in the garden, in their beautiful little garden, and you can hear, and over the fence, you could see the camps, and you could hear the screaming and barking and shooting. It's horrible to watch this movie.
Wait, so they
You
just,
never
and they
actually
just
see-
hang out like nothing's going on?
Yeah, and they're home having dinner, and you would hear the screaming and stuff. So you never actually see any scenes in Auschwitz. You just hear everything. So it's
And are they,
horrifying. It's horrifying, like on two levels. It's horrifying because it's the contrast is horrifying, and then just hearing these things so it's not, you don't see it, so it's like kind of like all in your head. It's like I couldn't. I had to recover after that one.
So what's the movie? And so they're just basically, so the movie's about them just living their lives, hanging out.
Yeah, well, it's obviously it's a Nazi. One of the Nazis is the one who lives there, and he lives there with his family, his wife and his kids.
Uh-huh.
And that's pretty much the movie.
Oh, so it's kind of I don't even know if metaphor is the word, but sort of illustrating people sort of actively tuning shit out that's inconvenient for them to face.
Sort of. Yeah.
There's an element of
Yeah.
that in Saltburn as well, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, totally.
And my favorite scene of the movie, actually.
Yeah.
Well, second favorite.
Anyway, that's a tough movie. A couple of the Oscar movies. Poor Things is a little bit of it's not an easy movie to watch necessarily.
Oh, Poor Things isn't easy either?
No, not really. Killers of the Flower Moon is a hard watch. Not as hard as Zone of Interest, but
So it sounds
Tough one,
like
too.
I got the easier, it sounds like I got all the easy ones out of the way.
yeah, American Fiction that was a lot of fun to watch. Past Lives, I enjoyed very much. Those are not.
I saw that on the plane.
They're not difficult movies to watch. These other ones, woohoo. Poor Things, Killers of the Flower Moon. If you're going to watch in Zone of Interest, that's the oof.
Okay, so now I got it. So all my happy movies are over. So now I've got to gear up.
Yeah, the Zone of Interest is not a SAG movie though, so you won't have to watch that unless you want.
But I have to watch Killers of the Flower Moon and Poor Thing.
Yeah.
I saw The Holdovers. I went to a screening of The Holdovers last week, and Divine Joy Randolph did a Q&A after. It was really good.
I've seen her in interviews.
Yeah.
I really like her. I got to see that one. I haven't gotten around to it.
She's only 37.
Good for her. Look at her.
And she went to
crushing it.
Temple University, just like I did in
And
Philadelphia.
Kurt, you would have loved the screening because afterwards they fed us.
What did you have?
There was like a charcuterie board. There was all sorts of like nice charcuterie and cake.
Yeah, I've gone to stuff like that.
But
All right.
anyway,
Back to
So-
this.
back to this snooze fest.
We had to lighten things up with the Killers of the Flower Moon.
So,
All right.
So every time they, Jenny's sister and her mother, was it her mom? Wait, what?
Yeah. Yeah, it was her mom.
They were,
Yeah.
we're going to go for manicure.
She looked young.
Yeah.
Oh, the mom looked very young.
The mom was giving a very broad performance in this movie. It did feel a little like big commercial vibes to me.
The mom was probably like that. She probably just done a play before this. And so she still had her theater reach the back of the theater voice on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so they went to go get pre-wedding manicures, which I like a good manicure too.
Mhm.
So then Lana shows up,
Yeah.
and it's like,
This
who
was not
invited
nice.
her?
Well, Mom and Meg did.
Oh,
They invited her.
Yeah.
So this family. So another thing that pissed me off about this movie, this family, if you want to like pump someone for information, you just ask them.
I
Oh,
feel
they're
like
fun
that's what they
games.
did.
But they were beating around the bush.
Okay, a little
Yeah.
bit.
But no, I get it. Just ask Lana. Lana, what's going on? Are you really with Craig?
Because it's like,
We're tired
Lana,
of the
it's just
bullshit.
us girls.
It's just us girls. Now fess up. Talk.
You know, the mom could have padded it by, like getting her nails done and like, oh, your dad gave it to me really good last night. So how about you, Lana? You having a good time with Craig? And then go
So-
from there.
Yeah.
I remember when I used to bathe Craig when he was a little baby. He had a birthmark on his willy. have you seen that? Did you notice what shape it's in? Yeah. She could have said something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, you agree? Yes.
But
They give
then
a lot of helpful information on this show.
Mm-hmm.
But then instead they kind of beat around the bush,
Yeah.
and they get their nails done, and Lana kind of like, well, I'm hoping someday that like he asks me to marry him.
Oh, yeah.
So the daughter, meanwhile, the daughter is like gonna parent trap this shit because
Yeah.
she likes Jen.
Yeah.
And so she wanted to parent trap this shit, but she wasn't twin. So she's kind of on her own, but she's pushing for Jenny just the same.
I think that little girl was good. The actor playing little
Mhm.
girl, I thought she did a serviceable performance.
Yeah, absolutely.
So then somehow they start talking about tigers. And then I didn't know there was a country called Taiga.
No.
Like Black China's ex.
Right. Because
There is?
they're talking about tigers, and Jenny was like, there's a country called Taiga where where tigers, and they're saying the country of Taiga that if you respect tigers, tigers will respect you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that riff about tigers went on a real long time.
I zoned out on that one.
Yeah.
It was like she was telling one of her stories.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
so then they're watching Shooting Stars, and it's very boring. And then Lana's out there, like everybody's out there, the daughter, Craig, Lana, everybody. So they see a
Cool
shooting
company.
star, and they make wishes, and then they ask the little girl, what do you wish for? And of course she's like, I can't tell you. And then Lana starts sneezing.
Yeah.
And then Lana ends up having a cold, and she gets sick, and they're like, well, the parents are in on it, and they're like, well, we'll take you back to your room.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I know the moment. I think I know the moment of heinous activity you're talking about, and I don't think it's all right.
Okay.
We're getting to it.
All right.
And
We are
everybody
getting to it.
basically left. So to leave them so they could hook up.
Yeah.
Craig and Jenny.
Mm.
But they didn't hook up.
Because
So then they end up in Craig's room. Wait, was it in Craig's room, or where did they give her the warm milk?
That's outside still. They're still outside.
Because they're talking about sleeping or something, and they give the girl warm milk.
Yeah.
When all Jenny needed to do was tell one of her like dumb stories.
Well, she does eventually. And
Oh, that's
the outcome is the same.
Puts her right out.
It's right to sleep.
She thinks everybody wants to hear a story. She's like one of those guys who comes to a party with a guitar.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
like, dude,
Mhm.
nobody asked you to bring a guitar. Nobody wants to hear this.
We don't want to hear you sing.
Yeah.
But yeah, her stories are like Xanax.
Mm-hmm. I actually
But
wrote
you're
in my
right.
in the thread to Les and Kurt earlier. I said that Jenny needs to open a business where, like, it's better than melatonin. She just says tell a story, and people are cured of their sleeping disorders.
Yeah. You know that place in LA, Jason, the Dream Center?
I've heard of it.
They
Yeah.
hire her there.
Yeah.
What do they do? You just go there and sleep?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sleeping spots?
Just like or create like an app and you just like it's a pricey download, but you only need it like the one time.
Right. Jenny's like, once upon a time. So then the next day.
So you think there's a market for writing?
And before they go though, Jenny makes a wish as well. So the next day, Jenny's having breakfast with her sister, and Ed calls, and Ed's like, "Hey, girl." And they're talking, and he's filling her in on the work gossip. But then he also is like, so the reason why I'm really calling is one of the stories isn't happening for some reason. And so we have room and Carrie's looking for a story. So get your story in there and I'll make sure like it gets to her. But do it now. Oh, and then he talks about how he bought, was it a ring? He bought a ring for his boyfriend.
I don't think it was a ring. It looked like a necklace or something. It was a piece of jewelry in a box, and it's a fairly large box, not like a ring box.
And he said in the he's like, I bought this for for Sam, and it's not time yet, but I'm buying it. So when the time is right, I'll give this to him.
Yes.
Sam was the name, right?
Sam was the name, and I don't know that he ever said the word him or boyfriend. I think they were trying to present this character as gay with not actually saying the words.
Right. Because this was 2019, so this was the transition year.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, but we knew what was going on.
Yeah.
We figured out Ed earlier on.
I mean, if you look closely, that thing, I'm wrong. It was a ring. It was a cock ring. It was just in a Tiffany box. So it's distracted.
Oh, that would be so nice.
Do you think Tiffany sells cock rings?
No, in a Tiffany box. Like Tiffany's, yes.
Not only gay people use cock rings, though.
Grabbing
but I guess
that
if he was
sound.
giving it to somebody. What's that?
I said grabbing that sound.
Oh, great. Anyway.
Oh, and then she tells Ed, I'm going riding in a carriage. Oh, because then Ed also knew, because Ed's like, so what's going on with Craig? And Ed's like wanting to know the gossip with that too.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's
and
fascinated.
Like, I'm going riding in a carriage, and then Ed's like, is Craig coming?
I'll tell you what, for a movie you think is boring, everybody in the movie is fascinated with what's going on.
Yeah.
You know?
But everyone in Hallmark movies gets fascinated about a trivia contest too. Like, I don't know if that's saying a whole lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then Jenny starts talking to Craig.
And I'm gonna put that in the description, I think, about the cock ring.
Jenny starts talking to Craig, and Craig's like, Jenny, you should be a travel writer. And then they go and they both, the daughter is with Jenny's parents. And so Craig's by himself. And so Jenny's like, well, come with me on this carriage ride.
Wait a second. We have to back up to the moment.
Okay.
The heinous moment.
Oh, okay. What was the heinous moment?
The heinous moment is they were not yet. No, that doesn't happen yet. They're in the brunch area or whatever. And as Jenny is going out to go send her pages to Ed, she runs into Lana, who is we now have established is sick. Lana fucking sneezes on her and does not cover her mouth.
Ooh. I didn't even notice that.
No, it was like they made a big beat out of it in the scene too, because then Jenny was holding a muffin and she was grossed out by Jenny put the sneezed on muffin down on the table and just walked out.
I need to rewatch it. Maybe because I watched this. Maybe that scene was cut out.
No, it was on YouTube because I found it on YouTube too. Fucking sneezed on her. And didn't cover her mouth. It didn't say excuse me. Okay. And she felt it coming on.
Pre-COVID.
It was pre-COVID, but I don't think that you would do that.
No.
She was inches away from her face when she did it too.
Huh. No, I don't like that at all. People who sneeze and cough, they don't cover their mouths. I saw little kids, even kids They should learn not to do that.
Yeah, but she was right in her face too. It wasn't like it was like
Rude.
a couple of feet away. You're like, okay, I can understand. No, she was right in her face.
Yeah,
Jenny the Black Widow
Yeah, but Jenny's also an asshole because Jenny could have thrown that muffin away.
is a Black Widow.
Jenny could have thrown that muffin away, but she's like, no, I'll just leave it on the table. Maybe somebody else wants it.
Well, but this is a small town. I don't think people would eat muffins off of the table like in a small town.
I think in a small town, you feel there's a veil of safety there. Like, oh, I pretty much know everyone here. It's harmless.
That's your big problem.
Ew.
Yes.
Ew.
Well, you're in an ice house too. The rules
Kurt,
are.
would you eat like a muffin that you found on the table?
Ooh, good question.
Well, what do you mean if what depends on the table? Like, where am I where this is happening?
It was
Like
in
in
this
the tent.
hotel. Yeah, it was in this hotel. It's not
in the hotel.
inconceivable that the muffin came from the very next room they were in.
Oh, if I was like walking down the hallway and there was a muffin sitting on a table, sitting like on a table where people don't usually eat, probably not. But if they had like muffins out kind of on display or something like that, then
Now, let me ask you this. Is there a world in which Peter, the concierge, comes along, sees that muffin there, and he's like, oh, this doesn't belong here. Oh, nobody's been into it. I'm going to put it back on the table. And then somebody then still eats it.
Yeah.
I feel like that could happen too.
Though on Peter's end too, though.
If it was part of a spread, if some random muffin looks like it's been out for a while, I would not. No.
Because that's bad on Peter's end, because that means that if the muffin was out, that means someone touched it.
Perhaps. But still.
Yeah.
Sneezed in her face.
Yeah, that is heinous.
Fuck you, Lana.
I might rewatch that scene. I can't believe I missed it.
Yeah, that is heinous.
Yeah, it's bad. But that's worse than a contractor rigging up a fan so it comes down and wow.
Yes.
or the ball of fire from the oven.
Yes.
What? Or just running something down and
because the fireball and the ceiling fan, like that took a lot of planning. That took skill to make happen. Like that's sort of like you got to step back, and even though it's just terrible, it's like, oh, it's impressive that you were able to do all that. The muffin, the sneeze, she's right in her face, and sneeze is coming on, and in the moment makes the decision, I'm not covering up. I'm just gonna let it fly.
That wasn't gonna kill anybody. That was just gonna spread germs.
Yeah.
Pre-COVID.
Yeah. This could have been the sneeze that started COVID. You don't know.
Right. That's true. Could all be Lana's fault.
We don't know if Lana was at a wet market or not.
Right.
Well,
so this is where Craig starts playing games too. Because he's on the carriage ride with Jenny, and he's like, your sister was telling me about when I did my RSVP, your sister mentioned you, and your sister told me about you.
See, now I'm watching this. I'm thinking like Lana is kind of his girlfriend. And I'm thinking any girlfriend I've had, she wouldn't put up with this bullshit for 1 second. Me out riding in a carriage with some other woman.
No. Absolutely not. But Lana wasn't his girlfriend. She wasn't.
Unless you know some of the women I've been with, they wouldn't put up with that for a second. And other ones, no.
But I think Craig was playing games though, because obviously if her sister was pretty pushy about this whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
So you know that when the sister talked to Craig, she wasn't subtle or beating around the bush at all.
No.
Because this whole family was pushy about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you know that she was like, my sister's going to be there. I want to hook you two up. She's cute. She probably showed Craig a picture on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she probably did that. And she she was hyping this up.
It is a little weird that Craig and Jenny had never met before, now that I think of it.
Well, that's I could kind of
no, like Jenny and Meg lived in the same city, so like Jenny and Meg seem pretty close. If Meg and her fiance are like hanging out, I'm sure that the fiance's best friend is going to be around at some point. Unless
it was one of these type of things where like they would only meet out
Yeah.
like at a
Or actually, I guess we don't know that Craig lived in the same city.
Right.
He may not have.
And it might have been one of these situations where, the husband goes out with the guys, or when it is a situation, it would be a situation where the girlfriends would be there, but no one else.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I just picture
friends in their date.
I picture you have like a summer barbecue or like a Super Bowl party where it's like more than just your immediate circle of friends are there kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. But then maybe Jenny was hanging out with Ed all the time, and maybe Jenny was hanging out with Ed and his gay friend.
That's true.
How handsome is Craig? Because I don't think Craig's rich. So
he's okay. Like
he seems nice.
He was very Hallmark generic good looking.
Yeah.
I actually thought Tony was cuter. I thought Tony was cuter. Tony.
Okay.
That's Meg's fiance.
Yeah, Ed was no panties drop. Like he was okay.
Yeah. Apparently he was in this movie. Boy.
Oh, so the parents are really crafty. Did you notice that the parents were like, so we're going to be really nice to the little girl. And we're going to spend a lot of time with the little girl. And that way that'll butter the father up. Because he's like, oh, look at these people. Look at these prospective grandparents being so nice to my kid.
Well, even like earlier in the movie when they were sitting around that fire and like Lana let out the first sneeze where she did cover her mouth, they are immediately like, oh, let's take you back to your room. They like got her the fuck out of there.
Yeah. But the parents were like, let's hone in on this kid, and that way that'll butter him up because we're being nice to his kid, and the kid's gonna like us.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I don't know. I don't know what to think of all this.
They're all terrible people.
Is that right? Is that a right thing? If we're gonna really say, like, if we're gonna get into like the morality of it, should the parents be doing that? I mean, be nice to the girl, yes, but that's the motivation.
Well, I mean, I don't think we're discussing the morality of it. I don't think I think it's morally questionable that they're trying to push their daughter on this guy who they have all reason to believe has a girlfriend.
Right.
But also, I don't know their lives. I don't, these parents could be swingers, and to them, it's like a totally normal thing.
Yeah.
What are the chances of that?
I don't know.
Oh, so then,
I mean, there's Tiffany cock rings in this universe.
Question, huh? What'd you say?
There's Tiffany cock rings in this universe. A lot of things are possible.
Oh, that's something. I thought we forgot about that.
Yeah.
So then, when the grandparents were talking about like taking the little girl with them, Lana shows up and they like blow her off. And then they're on like a little ice slide and the girl's playing on the ice slide. And then Lana shows and Jenny's playing with the little girl on the slide. And then Lana showed up for that too. And then they sabotage Lana.
I don't think they sabotaged her.
No, she does it on her own accord.
Well, she had an accident.
She's horrified going down the slide. I mean, that's a little bit.
But she was also like forcing herself to do it to make herself like seem cool to Sarah, the little girl.
Oh, yeah, well, Lana was definitely like the pick me girl.
But she was also like, as soon as she crashed, like when a kid, like a little kid, like trips and falls, and if mom and dad aren't watching, the kid usually just gets himself back up and moves on. But if like everyone's watching, they're like, oh my God, how are you? That's when the kid cries. It's like a bit of a call for attention. Lana was absolutely like, oh, I just hurt my ankle on this thing.
Well, it worked because Craig like swooped in and helped her.
Yeah.
Yep. A wounded bird.
Yep. She just wants everyone to wait on her.
Right. So then they're doing, was it karaoke?
No, it was like there's just like a lounge in the ice castle and there's like a keyboardist there. And like Jenny and Craig are like, oh, we should get this guy to play the reception. I'm like, wait, they don't have entertainment for the reception and the wedding's this week? You guys are morons. And then
the 4-week wedding.
And
like
then
4-week turnaround time.
And then the keyboardist looks over at Lana and like motions her to come over, and who just fucking sprained her ankle. She runs over, no explanation as to how she could do that, and she starts singing.
Point that out.
Yeah,
I thought they were going to point that out. I was like, well, she's faking her injury because she can run.
Yeah,
and then she starts singing, lip syncing as best she can.
No, she was singing. Well, I mean, the actor may have been lip syncing, but the character was singing.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, she's pulling out all this up. She's like, I got to do what I got to do to get the guy.
I got to sing.
But she laid out exactly what she needed. That the character of Lana, all she wants is someone to look after her. She's faking injuries or maybe faking injuries so that people will wait on her. That's all she wants in life. Is she does eventually get that. We'll find out.
Because she sings, and it doesn't work on Craig, but it works on one of the employees.
Yeah.
And he's like, who
job
is that?
My job is to take care of people.
Exactly.
I'm ready for this.
As soon as he asked about that, and she had sung that song, I was like, oh, they're going to get together.
Right. So then, another
hang in there.
boring ass story.
Yep.
Ugh. These stories. But then Meg comes running up to Jenny, and Meg's like, oh my God, I've got tea. I got information. Do not give up on Tom. But then she was being really cagey about it. It's like, why wouldn't you just come out and say, hey, listen, he's not into this woman. She's into him. But no, she had to be cagey about it.
So send her a fucking text.
Right. Exactly. So then they're all making like snow dessert.
It was freezing. They basically brought out honey, like maple syrup rather, and they're in the snow, and then they would like carve out a design in the snow and then pour the maple syrup, and the maple syrup would freeze.
And you guys are questioning eating a muffin off a table. They're eating snow, a Doberman Pinscher pissed in the snow.
They're pulling a Reese Witherspoon.
A, I'm not saying I would eat it, but B, they're clearly not freaked out by stuff like that. So of course somebody's going to eat that sneezed on muffin in this town.
A polar bear ejaculated on that snow earlier.
Yeah.
Did you guys hear about
dessert?
The Reese Witherspoon stuff last week when Reese Witherspoon made like cold brew out of snow and everybody was like, ew, you're gross.
No. It is.
Well, Reese Witherspoon was like scandalized the nation last week.
No, that was a scene in that movie she did.
No, she did it in person.
Where she's up in the mountains, she couldn't eat anything else. She ate in the snow.
No, she did it.
That's
for
what we're
real.
talking about. What, does she need money?
No, she was like, she got on TikTok and she's like, hey, y'all, I'm going to make a cold brew out of snow. And she did. And then everybody was like, you're disgusting. Snow's disgusting. And then she got back on and she's like, hey, y'all, I'm sorry. I didn't think that it was going to be disgusting, but it sure was good.
Sure was more entertaining than that morning show. I turned that off about and you guys like it.
No, I like it. I like to hate watch it. It's terrible, and I love it.
I was like, that's enough. That's enough.
Last season on the morning show, they hit every like.
It is. It is
no, I was out.
A joy to behold because it's so
like,
all over the place.
We're gonna have racism, sexism,
and Reese Witherspoon in outer space.
Yeah,
in the 10 minutes that I saw had something about that, and I was like, "That's enough."
Yeah,
it was Aniston that was supposed to go up into space, so I guess it ends up with her in space. But it doesn't matter.
Yes, with no notice, by the way, doesn't train for it at all. They just like, oh, you're going now.
I was done. There was this long scene with John Hamm and Billy Crudup in a steam room, like a Korean bath.
Because they're like, we want to get
on and on,
eyes on them too.
Yep,
on and on and on. And the camera angles are slowly turned. I was like,
and Reese Witherspoon is at the January 6th insurrection. Like there is so much craziness going on in that show.
They're like, just throw everything in, everything.
Yeah.
It's hard to see in John Hamm and things that are, I mean, Mad Men was a great show, and that was a great. I guess you just, what are you going to do? There's just not. He's not going to get a role as good as that.
No, he's in Fargo now. Apparently, Fargo is amazing this season. I haven't watched it yet.
Okay,
yeah,
because Don Draper, him as Don Draper was like just magnifique. That was such a great show. And so now I see him in other things. Like,
I hear he's supposedly nice.
I can see that.
Yeah,
I hear he's supposedly like very nice.
He seems nice.
Yeah.
I never met him, but
I would love to.
Like the feek.
You know what he wouldn't do? He wouldn't make you eat polar bear ejaculation snow.
No, he wouldn't. He'd be Hamacondas now.
What are they doing? They're pouring like maple syrup in the snow?
Yeah.
Yes.
They were etching out molds, and then they would pour the syrup, and the syrup would freeze, and it'd be like the word love on popsicle sticks made out of maple syrup.
Like I said, Reese Witherspoon got a lot of shit last week.
Well, I like
doing
sweets,
something similar.
I like sweets, but man, I think I found the line.
Wow, Kurt, even you wouldn't do that?
I probably would.
Should I title this episode Maple Syrup and Polar Bear Jizz?
What? Listen, no, I'm going to have to put a disclaimer on this episode. I'm already in trouble. I'm going to come back. I'm going to be monitoring whatever the description is for this.
So I already said, like, the sister was like, Meg is like, Lana and Craig are not a couple, so go for it. And then Jenny goes to the little girl and she's like, you know what? Let's make a veil for Meg, because Meg still didn't get her wedding veil.
Right.
And then Jenny finds out that the boss wants to publish her story, and she's like, guess what? The boss wants to publish my story, and everybody could care less.
Well, her father's interested, but it almost seems weird that he's interested.
Why?
I think we get to that later on.
So then Lana is at this point
out of the blue. Okay.
Lana is like, I gotta try to use everything in my wheelhouse. So she buys a little girl a dress. And then, but the little girl's talking to Jenny, and she's like, listen, I want my dad to be happy. I want my dad to hook up with you. And then Jenny's like, you know, I can't do it. Your dad is not available. But Lana goes into so Jenny is like, who is she DMing? Is she DMing Ed?
Jenny?
Yeah, she was DMing somebody.
I lost my place.
Because then Lana,
she was DMing Ed.
Okay, so she's DMing Ed.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
And she says about, like, you know,
well, she tells him the wish that Sarah revealed to her was that she wished her dad that she was gonna marry the dad.
Right.
She was Jenny would marry the dad. So Jenny shared that in a DM to Ed and leaves her fucking computer open like a moron.
And so Lana goes walking into the room, and Lana does what she should do. The computer was open, and there were DMs there, and she looked.
Mm-hmm.
She read every word.
Yep. And she read every word.
Snoop around. You got to be ready for what you're going to find. She wasn't happy.
Well, she technically wasn't snooping. It was open.
No. She wasn't, no. But she doesn't read the computer. Okay.
And it does make you, like, what I didn't realize until that moment, though, is that these rooms, and it makes sense, but I didn't realize that these rooms don't have doors.
No.
Oh. Hmm.
So what's the security like in that place?
Yeah.
'Cause, you know, someone's going to steal.
Yeah. And also, like, what if you're trying to have relations with your partner and
right?
Like, on a block of ice?
The entire Winter Castle can hear you going at it.
Gotta stay warm somehow.
Maybe that was the noise she heard earlier.
Oh, that breathing? That heavy breathing? Yeah, maybe.
Maybe it's like her parents going at it.
Oh, they were relatively young.
Trying to stay warm.
So then they're at
Somebody
dinner.
must be going at it.
So then they're at dinner, and everybody, like, it's the rehearsal dinner.
Yeah.
Then Craig invites Jenny outside, and then Craig is like, I'm confused. I got two women fighting over me, and I'm confused. So at this point, Craig is like playing a game.
Yeah. He's not confused.
Right.
I think in slight fairness to him, in this moment, he's like, I'm confused, but I got to step back from whatever is starting here between you and me because I've got this thing with Lana going. That's kind of what's happening in this moment.
But Lana has snapped out of it.
Yeah.
Her dickmatization has worn off.
When she sees him like talking to Jenny, and it looks like they're getting cozy.
So Lana's like, F this.
Yeah.
I'm out. Deuces.
He's hanging on a corner in Winslow, Arizona. 7 women on his mind.
What is that
So,
from?
so Lana's leaving.
Hmm?
And
What's that a lyric from,
Lana's
Kurt?
like, I'm done.
What was that?
I wanted to ask what Kurt, was that a lyric from or something?
Oh, it's from Take It Easy by the Eagles.
Okay.
Take it easy.
I think I may have mixed up the words a little bit, but they do say 7 women on my mind, which is very complicated.
So
Yes, Lana is no longer her dickmatization melted, just like the ice castle will melt in the summer.
and Jenny's also sad. And Sarah, the little girl's also sad. Everybody's sad.
Oh, Lana takes it well, though.
So Lana's leaving, and Lana, and then the worker who was like mesmerized by her voice comes up to her, and she's like, listen, I'm out, and can you call me a car? And he's like, well, all the cars aren't available, but I can take you to the airport.
Yeah.
Wink,
And then
wink.
And then we never see her again.
Yeah.
But before that, she has an exchange with Craig, a very friendly exchange, where she's like, you deserve to meet the person in your life. And I know that I'll meet the right man.
Yeah,
And she does.
I love when Hallmark does this, where they like somebody is the collateral damage in the ending of a relationship, and they have to be nice enough and be cool about it. Like they feel like they need to do that every time, and I don't think they do.
Yeah, and their breakups are so sugar coated.
That's what I mean.
Happy.
Yeah,
Boy,
But obviously,
people have
Lana
breakups?
bounces back.
yeah.
Have these people
Lana
had
found
breakups
somebody that
too?
like his whole job is to take care of people. She's gonna be in heaven.
Whew.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess so. Until the guy's
Since-
exhausted from all this.
Yeah.
Like you think Craig can please her in bed? No.
No?
I don't think so. He
Craig doesn't know what
he's
it-
all that great.
He doesn't know what he wants.
I didn't even have an opinion on that.
Like if Lana had been there making the molds with the maple syrup, she would have made a dildo because she was not getting laid in this movie until she meets Peter.
No, Lana was
Craig-
not.
Craig needs to shop at Tiffany's, I guess.
Yeah.
Right.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
Made this movie so filthy.
Oh, man. I'm trying to behave myself.
So
I think it's
then we have
impossible.
the wedding, right?
Yeah.
We have the wedding. It's
Yeah.
boring.
Did you watch The Golden Wedding?
The Golden
Bachelor?
No.
No.
Golden
I don't watch
Wedding?
the regular
No.
Bachelor. Why would I watch that one?
Jesus,
watch
all
The
right.
Bachelor.
I watched all that other garbage.
I don't watch any reality shows. Don't you fucking dare.
Let's watch it.
I do not watch The Bachelor.
All right. I
I'm
happen
watching
to see.
Traitors.
I didn't watch The Golden Bachelor. The Golden Wedding was on, and we had it on.
But you do
That
need to
was
watch
sweet.
Traitors.
It was sweet because it was a positive thing. And my mom sat there and she remembered like her wedding, and that was nice. And
Aww.
she talked about that. So that's why it was a good experience.
Aw. Oh, now, there's going to be a Golden Bachelorette.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So one of the Bachelorettes that didn't get picked is going to be the Bachelorette, the Golden Bachelorette.
All right. Well, it sounds like you won't be watching.
I will not.
Nope.
Well, I won't either. I have no interest.
So the wedding, the wedding happens. It's a snooze. Surprise, surprise.
Well, Meg reads the vows that Jenny basically rewrote for her, and they're like, we as the audience are supposed to believe they're so beautiful, and they are in fact so beautiful that Tony kisses her when she's done with her vows. Like he jumps the gun before he even says his vows, and he just kisses her. Like Tony is somebody that probably doesn't last long in bed.
No,
Wow, you're
I
really-
agree.
Well, you could work on that.
Well, he's gonna have to.
Yeah.
Wedding isn't even over, but he's done.
Jesus, man, you're being really rough on these guys.
Just say it.
Jesus. All right. Who is good in bed? I bet that.
No,
I was
no,
gonna say,
no,
Tony
guys,
isn't necessarily bad in bed. He just doesn't last long.
All right. So you could be good, but not for a short period.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there's other stuff you can do.
Yeah.
But I bet the concierge is good in bed.
Oh, yeah, he is. He's all about meeting your needs.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So then
Oof.
Craig and Jenny have their talk, and it's like, I love you, blah, 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 blah.
He doesn't say anything. He doesn't have any vowels. She says a bunch of stuff. He doesn't.
Yeah.
So she's like, blah, blah, blah. I love you. And the little girl's happy.
Yes.
Jenny
And then the
shames Sarah at the reception for eating cake, Kurt. How did you feel about that?
Child
shame?
abuse.
Like, she walks in and Jenny and Sarah's got a piece of cake and Jenny's like, oh, easy there.
Oh, like
Oh,
she's
got a lot
one
of
to
nerve.
talk.
Yeah.
She's got a lot of nerve.
Yeah.
She eats this like a cinnamon thing. It looked like I said, if she was diabetic, her bones would collapse.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think that's not
She
diabetes.
hoovered that Cinnabon down.
All of the people in this movie were terrible.
She's eating sugar coated snow.
Yeah.
Man, the hypocrisy. No, this movie, everybody in this movie needs to get put on a ship and just pushed out to sea. The world would just be a better place. I don't think the sea would be, but that's not my problem.
And then, of course, the sister basically just lobs the bouquet at her.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, other ladies wouldn't like that either. Women probably don't like this movie. I'll bet.
Well, weren't the
But
only
this movie
guests
wasn't
at the
popular.
wedding? Wasn't it just the immediate family anyway? Because it was a last minute destination wedding. So if you're doing the wedding traditions, the only single woman now left at the wedding, because Lana's gone, is Jenny
Well, no, what about Stephanie?
or Sarah. Who's Stephanie?
Or Sarah.
Oh,
The
Sarah.
little
Oh,
girl.
yeah, I guess Sarah could have gotten it.
Who's Stephanie?
Sarah.
You meant Sarah.
Oh, Sarah.
What about
She could have
Sarah?
gotten it. She could have gotten it. Then everybody will have to wait until she's married off in about 20 years, and then they can all continue with their lives. Well,
Anyway, this movie was a snoozer. Next week, I need to see some blood.
I still say
This was
that we had
amazing.
the most heinous villain ever. So boring as it was, it did give us our most heinous movie villain.
an
Oh, no,
amoral
because she was going into biological warfare with her sneaks.
This was like a Neil LaBute play, just amoral, not misogynistic. But
she didn't have a cute coat.
There were moments of misogyny in this movie. There was that scene where the dad and Tony and Craig were talking about like the marriage satellite or some shit. Like,
yeah, okay,
ugh.
Oh, Craig
Okay.
was such a misogynist.
Yeah.
okay, problematic.
Oh, yeah.
Well, all right. Well, I don't know.
For sure.
I think we've spoken our piece.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't that peaceful, was it?
No, it was a piece.
Mhm.
Definitely was a piece. Yeah. Well,
Yep.
Past Lives. Past Lives is a good movie.
Oh, I love Past Lives.
I love Past Lives. I did. Hey, okay, no, I'll bring this up later.
What?
I always think about having our friend of the show, Jason DeBray, on again. We had fun with him before.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
here's that Jason. Here's that Jason. We're all for it because I'm gonna do his Oscar show, and we could do like a little crossover kind of thing.
Yeah, I like Jason.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's do
I
it.
haven't asked him yet, but I think he listens sometimes, so he might. If he hears this, this is how we can communicate.
I still need to watch Oppenheimer. Oh my God, all the boring. I have only serious movies left to watch.
If you can find it on an IMAX screen, I promise me you will go see it in IMAX because it makes what would be a boring, mediocre movie much better just because the visuals and the sound are so good. It is not one to watch as a screener.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to see it again. But can I say something about? I said communicating for a podcast. I had a friend who used to work for 911. Her name was Jackie. And one time somebody just wanted. I tell the story right before.
Yeah.
Somebody called her. So maybe someone had heard this before. Somebody called 911. Can I talk to Jackie? They just wanted to talk to her as they called 911.
That's cool though.
I don't think that's cool.
911 was not pleased about this exchange.
But it wasn't Jackie's fault.
No, they weren't happy with the fact that this person did that.
Jackie was just doing a service.
Yeah.
You don't do that.
What, can I speak to Jack? Did they put Jackie on the phone?
I don't remember. But it was the
Jackie, like, hello. Hey, listen, I'm
She's-
working right
yeah.
now.
You
Hey-
can't do that.
hey, Jack-
You can call the emergency line.
Hey, can you just tell him I can't talk? I'm on with a suicide victim right now. Well, not a victim,
Yeah.
but he might be. I don't know.
Take message.
I know your house is on fire and your grandfather's had a heart attack, but my friend Susie's on the phone. She wants to know what should she get her niece for her birthday.
Just tell him just tell him it's an active shooter. I can't. Oh God.
I hope Jackie listens to this. You like that? Let's call 911 and play this for her.
No, do not do that.
Right. Anyway,
Okay, this is a full night for me.
you don't have to call 911. You can
Don't.
go to my website instead, Kirkendallbarrett.com. Jason.
Please rate and review us wherever you listen to your podcast. Give us 5 stars for talking about things like bear ejaculation. Helps more people find the podcast. You can find all of us on Facebook, Instagram, and Threads at Lifetime of Hallmark Podcast. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and Threads at Big Shot Jason. Kurt.
Oh, I'm KurtFitzpatrick.com, and I updated my site. It's Kurt, of course, with a K. And I'll be at the Rogue Festival first week of March with a Jester of All Maladies. I might be in a festival in July, too, but I'll have to announce that when that happens.
And yeah, that this summer is shaping up to be a very interesting summer for me because it looks like I'm going to be touring the UK with my show, The Real Black Swan, the UK and Canada.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So more on that in the coming months. And I guess
It's a
that's
hot boy
it.
summer, and I am a hot boy.
And a
Oh,
gay
you
icon.
are?
Yes, that's correct. That's correct.
Oh. Well, on that note,
Self-affirmation.
no, do it. Kurt, you still got time. You still got time to shape up. You got 6 months.
Kurt is now silent.
I think I'm good right now. No, there's always work to be done.
All right.
Okay.
Anyway, well, I'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.